good afternoon and welcome. We are here in studio today and we're going to talk some sports with Val. So Val joins me as always. It's hard to talk sports with Val without him. And it's hard to believe, but our fall sports are starting to get to that point where they're either going to be coming to an end. We've got girls golf state championship round coming up tomorrow and Saturday. Tennis, we're going to talk a little tennis as the Rochester boys, unfortunately, were eliminated in the first round. And then, of course, the bulk of what we're going to talk about today is going to be our soccer sectionals, which will begin next week. The draw took place last Sunday, so we're going to talk about that. First off, how are you, Val?
I'm doing well, Steve. It's October now, and every Saturday in October is a Super Saturday from here on. I mean, we start off with the first Saturday in October every year is usually girls golf, state finals. The next Saturday, Super Saturday for soccer sectionals. Then the following Saturday is soccer regionals plus cross-country sectionals.
And volleyball.
And volleyball Super Saturday.
Yeah.
With all the sectional semifinals and finals. So
yeah.
And then the last Saturday of the month is cross-country regionals and volleyball regionals.
Mm-hmm. And hard to believe that we're going to be week 7 of the football season tomorrow. So, that's getting down there too. 3 more regular season games for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, volleyball draw will take place on Sunday. And
this Sunday at 7.
The sectionals will be then a week from Monday. We'll start the volleyball sectionals.
Yeah, Tuesday, October 14th is when volleyball sectionals start. And, of course, the football draw is 6 p.m. on Sunday, October 12th.
Yeah. So lots to talk about over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the month, we're going to be talking about girls basketball. I mean, it's just, it's all going to start coming hard and fast. And, once we hit Thanksgiving, boys basketball will be going and girls basketball will be going, wrestling will be going. And, I mean, wow, a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah,
the next few weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna have a really crazy winter this year.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. So let's start off our show. I think we would be remiss if we didn't start off our show with some girls golf talk, as we have 2 girls who will be they're already headed to the to state for their practice round for today, but we have 2 girls that will be taking part in the state round of the girls golf tournament on Friday and Saturday. Savannah Miller finished 3rd among non-advancing players to advance to state. She is just a sophomore, and then of course you were there and you saw Olivia Bailey finish as the regional champion again with a 5 under par 67, including a hole-in-one.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't start out quite that way though.
Yeah, she started out with a double bogey on 10, which was her first hole of the day. She started on the back 9, and she said she got kind of emotional. It was like she's teeing off and she's realizing that, man, this is my last regional. Mm-hmm. And then the double bogey kind of kicked her into gear, like, I've got to get going now. 11 is a par 5, and of course Olivia just chews up and spits out par 5s. Mm-hmm. And she comes up with a birdie on 11. And then she comes up with maybe the hottest 4-hole stretch of her life. Birdie on 15, birdie on 16, hole-in-one on 17, birdie on 18.
That's a pretty good stretch. Wow. 5 under par for 4 holes?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And for a front nine score of 32. And it was just amazing. She was playing with Lake Central and Penn, and I'm walking the course, and I'm with the Lake Central and Penn kids, with Lake Central and Penn parents. Mm-hmm. And they're asking me questions about Olivia, but I mean, having said that, they kind of already knew who she was.
Yeah, she's had a decent run up there in the regional.
And they were just like, this girl's on fire. Even they just couldn't help but tip their hats to how well Olivia was playing against their daughters. Because I mean, these are all elite players, and what's amazing is that the hole-in-one on 17 was just surreal because. I'm standing off the 17th green in between kind of 17 and 18. I'm keeping one eye on Olivia, and I'm keeping one eye on Molly Moore, who's teeing off on 18. And you just hear this loud noise, like, whoosh, and you can hear it hit the flagstick, and you're looking at wait, where's the ball? Where's the ball? Mm-hmm. Oh, it disappeared. It's a hole-in-one. And then it was like, who hit it? And so all I hear from out of nowhere is, I didn't even know who said it was. That was Olivia.
Huh.
And so that picture that you saw that I had in my article, that was Olivia picking the ball up right out of the cup.
Yeah.
And I think even Cal Stone, the Rochester athletic director, borrowed it for his little promo social media post.
One question I was going to ask you is, of all the years you've been covering, I think, 21 years now you've been covering golf, how many times have you had that happen? Is this first?
Second.
Second.
Believe it or
second
not,
one?
I saw Lauren Doherty. She's now Lauren Adley. And I saw her make a hole-in-one at regional about 10, 12 years ago.
Really? At regionals?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was also at regional, too. That was when Rochester played at the regional in Noble Hawk in Kendallville, which is where that's the regional Savannah Miller came out of. But that was back when Rochester was in that regional.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and that was crazy, too, because, the weather was terrible that day. It was really wet, and it was kind of a mishit, and it kind of skidded and skipped on the green and went in for Lauren. But this was just incredible, especially because 17 is a really tough hole at Sandy Pines. They're all tough holes at Sandy Pines, but Olivia said, I was shooting for the flagstick. I played there enough, and my gosh, she literally slam dunked it in.
Yeah. You mentioned that she's played there enough. She's got a pretty good record in regional play there, three times.
Plus she's won the Kankakee Valley Invite there the last 2 years.
She kind of likes that
She's
course.
won 5 tournaments, and even Dan Bailey said, I don't know what it is about this course, but she really likes playing here.
Yeah, 5 under par, so that's pretty spectacular.
She chipped in on 5.
Yeah, and
for another birdie, yeah.
And she ended up with another double, so 2 doubles, and she still finished 5 under. So what a great round.
Yeah, 7 birdies, a hole-in-one, and 2 double bogeys.
Yeah, and that ties the Rochester. Is that right? Did I say that? It ties the record for 18.
I think I'm still doing some research on that.
We don't know for sure.
I know Kinley Lingenfelter had a really great round about 12 years ago, but we're double checking on that.
All right. And then let's talk a little bit about Savannah Miller. We've been talking about her for a couple of years now. She's just a sophomore. Talk a little bit about her round and her qualifying for state.
Well, Savannah's the first player ever from Valley to make state in girls golf. And so she is making history. And, that's saying something because Valley's had a lot of good players. We talk about, the team that won regional or the team that won conference and made it to regionals just a couple of years ago. They had some really good players. Madeline Weaver was outstanding. Lily Alton, Molly Moriarty, and Caden Smollett were all really good players. But no Valley player ever made state. And going back to when Roger Moriarty was the coach, he had a lot of good players, but never quite had a player make state until Savannah. And, Savannah is, she made regionals last year as a freshman, and she showed a lot of promise. I think she shot 78 at last year's regional. I think she was like 5th among individuals. She was very close to making it last year. So I'm sure she had that in her mind as a goal, and boy, she did it. And that's just thrilled for her.
Yeah, and obviously got a couple more years to go. So it's hard to tell what her ceiling is going to be.
Yeah. She was also conference medalist this year. So she didn't come out of nowhere, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
We've known about her for
even though
sure.
she's just a sophomore,
Talk about both of the girls' chances as they head to the state round.
Well, for Savannah, I think this is going to be, again, for your first state tournament, boy, last year's state medalist was Taylor Snively from Zionsville. She was a freshman last year. So you say, well, it's your first state finals. Maybe it's just a learning experience. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Right.
We'll see. But again, how she does against this quality of field will be interesting. One thing about Prairie View is that it's a longer course. And the bunkers, again, there aren't as many bunkers. Maybe there are more. It's kind of, I think playing at Noble Hawk will help her for Prairie View in terms of there aren't a ton of bunkers at Prairie View, but boy, they're strategically placed and they're just they're there to bite you, it seems like. So we'll see how Savannah plays. Again, Olivia's experience, I think, will be more favorable. Olivia tied for 26th in the state 2 years ago as a sophomore, tied for 20th in the state last year as a junior.
Yeah.
So let's see how she does this time. Can she finish, say, in the top 10?
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if that's her goal, but I mean, given her experience on the course, it takes a lot out of you mentally because you've got to. I mean, it's 36 holes over 2 days,
right?
And your level of focus just has to be really, really good for 36 holes, and that part is the part that's not easy.
Yeah, and most of these girls, I mean, that's not a common occurrence. I mean, you're playing 9 most of the times during the week, and then 18 for tournaments, so. It's ramped up, obviously, the pressure for being state, plus you got to go 2 rounds.
Right. Some of the kids who do summer tours, they're maybe, and obviously if you're making the state finals, there's maybe a good chance that you've done a summer tour before. So maybe you're used to the 36 holes over 2 days, but even then they're not that particularly used to it.
Yeah. Well, we wish them the best of luck as they're already down there, I assume. I saw Olivia left pretty early. I know they have a practice round today, so they're already down there. So they're going to do a practice round today, and then the real thing tomorrow and Saturday.
Yeah, and again, if you've never been to Golf State, I mean, they treat the kids great there. I mean, they treat the kids like they are special because they are special, and it's a true celebration just to be there. And I think that the IHSA gets that. And Prairie View as a course is just an awesome course. It's a really great course to walk. And again, I'm sure they haven't rejected anybody's support. I mean, I walk the course with them, and they never tell me to go away.
Yeah.
Maybe they think it to themselves. But yeah, I mean, it's great, and it's great. Hey, it's great exercise, and it's great to see to appreciate kind of the hilly nature of the course. I think it's always good to walk the course for me personally.
Yeah. Well, you'll be down there covering that, so keep an eye on Twitter for at Valty Sports, as you can see down here, Twitter X.
Yeah.
I still don't call it X, but keep an eye on that for results.
I keep my phone. I keep my phone on silent, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. And good luck to Olivia and Savannah over the next couple of days, and we'll keep an eye on everything.
Yeah, and on top of that, Savannah and Olivia are 2 great kids.
Sure.
I mean, really great kids.
Yeah. All right, let's talk a little tennis here. The draw, it just happened on Sunday as well, but it's a quick turnaround from the draw. Actually, it's not as quick as it used to be because they used to draw on Tuesday and start on Wednesday, but the Rochester boys, we knew it was going to be a tough challenge, obviously, with Peru hosting. They drew Peru in the first round, and unfortunately, they bowed out 5-0 to the Peru Tigers last night.
Yeah, I was there for that one, and the match that I had my eye on was the number 1 doubles match with Harrison Dunwoody and Ashton Musselman. Obviously, because number 1 singles and number 1 doubles are in their own separate tournament. I was wondering, could Harrison and Ashton pull off the upset and possibly advance as a team to the next round, even if the Rochester team didn't advance. But as it turned out, Peru, like you mentioned, won 5-0. Harrison and Ashton almost pulled off kind of a crazy comeback. They were down love 5 in the second set, and then Andrew Dunwoody, the assistant coach, talked with them. I don't know what he said, but they won the next 3 games, and had Peru a little on the ropes, but Peru was able to close out the match, so they won 6-2, 6-3. But yeah, I mean, it was a good. Again, you see the distance that Rochester has to travel if they want to be with Peru and Northwestern, because again the complaint all these years was that they were in the same section with Culver Academy, and how can you compete with a private school that has kids from all over the world? Well, now you're in a sectional with 4 other TRC teams.
Yeah.
And it's still not easy. It's hard to win a sectional.
It is.
And Peru has won the sectional 7 years in a row, and they would appear to be well on their way toward 8. I mean, they went undefeated in conference play, and in fact, I think Northwestern was the only one that won a point against them. Northwestern lost 4-1. They won all their other TRC matches 5-0, and Northwestern's not in the sectional.
Right.
So this is a Peru team looking for their 8th straight sectional, and you would have to think they're favored to do it from now on. But again, Peru has a middle school program, And Coach Sane does a great job there. He's been there for decades, and that's what you have to. That's what you're going up against. And talking with Kyle Reinhardt, I think he's really. He said he admitted, and I quoted him in my article. He said I kind of didn't know what I was getting myself into, but now I do, and I'm really happy to be doing it. I'm really looking forward to the challenge. And he talked about the support he gets from Cal Stone, the athletic director. Of course, Cal was I think a tennis coach in a previous life. So yeah,
Okay.
I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give Kyle a lot of credit. Got hired pretty late in the process, didn't really have a lot of time in the summer to work with the guys, and
Yeah.
had an over 500 season.
Yeah,
I
went
think,
9-8.
Yeah, so they are graduating a lot of guys, so it's going to be a
Right.
little bit of a rebuild, but at least they're going to have some time to work on it.
Yeah, graduating 6 guys, including the number 1 singles player, Wade Bowers, and all 4 doubles players. When you talk about Harrison Dunwoody, Ashton Musselman, and I want to just give a shout out to Carter Meredith and Hunter Camp, who had I think had a winning season at number 2 doubles as well.
Yeah.
And they lost 6-4, 6-1, but it was closer than that score might indicate yesterday.
Yeah. So the Zebras tennis season comes to a close. The only other school we have with tennis would be the Tippecanoe Valley Vikings, and they have a tough first round draw that they're going to be facing tonight. Correct?
Yeah, they're playing Wawasee at Warsaw. Wawasee is the defending sectional champion, and if they get by that, they probably have to face the Tigers in the sectional final. We didn't get a score from the Warsaw-Whitco match last night. I imagine Warsaw was heavily favored in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And Warsaw, whoever won that one, is playing Columbia City in the other semifinal tonight. And then they play the sectional final Saturday morning at 9.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on that and get you some information as we get it.
Of course, Valley with the Malott brothers playing 1 and 2 singles. William at 1 singles and Owen at 2.
Yeah.
And they moved Thad Shambaugh to 3 singles toward the end of the year. Thad was playing doubles, but now he's playing 3 singles. And, Liam Newcomer and Hayden Stuckey at 1 doubles, and Brent Miller and J.J. Kammer at 2 doubles.
All right. Good luck to the Vikings as they open up their sectional play tonight. We'll keep an eye on that as well and get you some updates when we get those. So let's take a break here. When we get back, we'll get right into the soccer talk.
Mike's Trash is your local provider for a variety of trash removal and dumpster services to Rochester and the surrounding areas. From residential to commercial, and even for seasonal lake residents, Mike's Trash's reliable staff can help you find the right fit for your trash removal needs. To find a list of our services, visit us online at www.mikestrashllc.com, in store at 824 Main Street, Rochester, or call 574-223-6429.
Welcome back here talking sports with Val, and let's start off at the Wabash 2A boys sectional, number 22, and it's going to be Tippecanoe Valley and Rochester right out of the gate. Of course, these two are not conference foes anymore, but they did play during the regular season. Rochester won that one 5-2, and we will be at Wabash on Monday for this one. So talk a little bit about the Rochester Valley matchup.
Yeah, for all of the sectionals today, I wanted to give first of all, tell everybody what every team's record is, and then maybe give you an idea of who the leading scorer is on each team, as well as some sectional history. I know this is usually the trivia question I throw at you, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
But
so I need to remember the answer.
Rochester is 4-10-1. Valley is 2-12-1. They are at Mishawaka tonight in their regular season finale. Wabash is 2-12-1. They host Carroll of Flora tonight in their regular season finale. Mechaniqua is 9-3-3. Their regular season is over. Peru is 7-6. They're at Marion tonight. Northwestern is 9-6-1. Their regular season is over. They are the TRC champs. And Eastern is 6-5-1. They are at North Miami tonight. And you see the bracket on your screen with Valley playing Rochester and the winner to play Eastern. Rochester has won 2 sectional titles in their history, most recently in 2016. They won back-to-back sectionals in 2015 and 2016. They have not won a sectional game since. Because remember, 2017 was the year they went from 2 classes to 3 classes, and Rochester went up from 1A to 2A, and they have not won a sectional game since. Valley has never won a sectional. Wabash has won 1 sectional, that was in 2021. Mechaniqua has won 2, most recently in 2010. Peru has won 4 sectionals. They won 4 in a row from 2011 through 2014. They haven't won one since. Northwestern has won 12 sectionals. They are the 3-time defending sectional champion. They're trying to win 4 sectionals in 4 years with 3 different coaches, which would be really unique.
Yeah.
And Eastern has won 3 sectionals, most recently in 2018. Obviously, the story in the Valley Rochester game, which is the game we'll have, will be, can Valley stop Spencer Backus? He had a hat trick against Valley when they played earlier in the year in that 5-2 game. He leads Rochester with 13 goals on the year. And for Valley, their leading scorer is Damian Garcia with 12. This is a Valley team that has struggled a little bit, I think, on the defensive side, but with guys like Garcia, I mean, I really don't think scoring goals has been a problem, but it's been stopping teams that has been a problem.
Yeah. Winner of that Valley and Rochester match will take on Eastern, so they have the only bye in the tournament. You said they were 6-5-1.
Yeah.
So.
And probably favored against North Miami tonight.
Yeah. So, it should be a good tournament. Of course, no stranger to playing on turf anymore. It's not as uncommon as it used to be, and the Zebras obviously were at McConaughey last year for sectional, so that was on turf as well. So shouldn't be too much of an adjustment as far as that goes for them.
Right, and we should mention this is the second time Rochester and Valley have ever played in a postseason match. They played in the sectionals 2 years ago, and Valley won 2-0.
Okay.
And I wanted to give a shout out. The leading scorer in this sectional is Oliver Rabe of Peru. We saw him last year. Peru beat Rochester 1-0 in the sectional, and Rabe scored the only goal of the game. He has 20 goals for Peru. No other player on Peru's team has more than 3. I mean, talk about a guy carrying his team on his shoulders. He has been doing that. So it'll be interesting to see what Northwestern's defensive strategy is against Rabe and Peru when they meet in that second game on Tuesday.
Okay. All right. Let's move to the girls Class 2A sectional. Tippecanoe Valley playing in this one. This one is at Plymouth. And the Vikings, in the only first-round game, will be taking on Northwood.
Valley comes in with a record of 3-10. Their regular season is over, but what's interesting is what the other 4 teams are doing. Northwood is 3-7-3. Wawasee is 0-14-1.
Wow.
They're struggling. Plymouth is 3-8-3, and Culver Academy is the only team with a winning record, and we saw them play the other night. They're 5-2-4.
Yeah.
It sounds like a
winning record with 5 wins, but 4 ties. Yeah.
Sounds like the combination of my locker in high school. And what's even weirder is that Wawasee is traveling to Northwood tonight for their regular season matchup. Plymouth is traveling to Culver Academy tonight for their regular season matchup to close out the regular season.
Yeah.
While Valley is done for the regular season. And in terms of sectional history, Culver Academy has won 11 sectional titles in their history, and they are the defending sectional champion. The other 4 schools in the sectional have won 8 sectionals combined. So Culver Academy has won more sectionals than the other 4 teams combined. Valley's never won one. Northwood has won 5, but all since 2017. Most recently in 2023. Wawasee has won 2. They won back-to-back sectionals in 2006 and 2007. And Plymouth has won 1. I was surprised by that. Only 1 girls sectional for them back in 2003, but then they were probably in the same sectional with Warsaw.
Yeah, when there was just 2 classes.
Yeah, when there was 1 class.
Class.
Back in the day. So maybe, I'm sure that explains it. There doesn't seem to be a really high... There's not a lot of info on max preps in terms of like who's a high score in this sectional. One player for Valley that stood out when I saw Valley play earlier in this year was that Julie Ruiz. She's a really good player. She's not only can score, but she can set up her teammates as well. This is a Valley team, with Tricia Sederholm's the head coach, and her husband Craig helps out. And this is a team that really plays good fundamental soccer, and they really rely on their speed. And I'll be curious to see if the game gets physical, how well they handle it. Again, we don't know a whole lot about Northwood except that they're 3-7-3, so they have a pretty similar record. How well will they handle it? Again, Northwood's played that NLC schedule. So how much better is the level of competition that Northwood has played?
Right. All right, let's take another quick break here, and when we come back, we'll talk some 1A soccer sectional action. Both of those that we are going to be covering are going to be at Argus, so we'll talk that when we get back here in just a moment, talking sports with Val.
RTC Fiber Communications knows the internet is evolving, taking new twists and turns. As we add our input, make our choices, and follow the light that connects us all, it's quite a journey, one to experience with the fastest speeds available. And with a variety of plans to select from, you'll be on your way in no time. Contact RTC Fiber Communications, connect to the internet speed that suits your journey, and enjoy the ride.
Welcome back here, talking sports with Val. Let's move over to 1A, and let's open up here with the boys at Argus, and the first game of the sectional, Val, might just very well be the winner of that one. It's going to be very favored to be the sectional champion. Of course, Lakeland Christian is the defending sectional champion, and Argus wants to get back on top of that sectional. They're going to be taking the field for the first game of the quarterfinal round, and then Culver Community will be taking on Winnemac in game number 2 of the quarterfinal round.
Yeah, Argus and Lakeland Christian met in last year's sectional final, and Lakeland Christian won 2-1 for their first sectional title in school history. Having said that, Argus has by far the best history of any team in this sectional. Argus has won 17 sectionals. The other 5 schools in the sectional have won 7 sectionals combined. But what's interesting is everybody's won at least one, which is interesting. You know, Argus with 17. Lakeland Christian has the one that we just mentioned. Culver has one back in 1994. Winnemac has one back in 2001. Caston has one. We were there for that back in 2021. And North Miami has 3. They won 3 in a row, 2007, 2008, and 2009. I was there for all 3 of those. So, and you look at current records, Argus is 9-2-2. They have 2 games left. They host Culver Academy tonight. We'll have that one for you on RTC. And then they are at Bethany Christian on Saturday. Bethany is, they're like 8-5, but their losses are like Goshen, Concord. It's like a who's who of really good teams. Bethany hosts, so Bethany's having a really good year, and that'll be a really good cap off to the regular season. Playing Culver Academy and Bethany certainly will get you ready for a postseason in 1A.
Right.
So Argus is 9-2-2. Lakeland Christian is 9-5. They also have 2 games left. They host Manchester tonight, and they host Trinity Greenlawn tomorrow night under the Friday night lights. Culver is 1-12. They are at LaVille tonight. Winnemac is 8-4-2. Coach Badayo having a really nice year in his second year at Winnemac, 8 wins. They host Caston tonight. Caston is 3-10-1 going into that game at Winnemac. And North Miami is 2-13, and they have that game, as we mentioned, at home against Eastern tonight. Leading scorers in the sectional, Sean Stark of Winnemac with 30.
Yeah.
30.
The junior.
And he's just a junior. Yeah. Jason Zalasco of Lakeland Christian with 22. Argus's leading scorer is Kenyon Belden with 14. And then Yo-Yo Fajardo has 13. And, so again, Argus won the Hoosier North. They went 5-0 in the conference, so they have wins over Culver, Winnemac, North Miami, and Caston. So you would certainly think that they would be favored, and you would have to think Lakeland Christian based on having Zalasco and that Zayden Miller. Zalasco and Miller have combined for 38 of the team's 51 goals. You'd have to think if they beat Argus, they would be favored again.
Right.
So get there. In other words, what we're trying to say is get there early at 5 o'clock on Monday, because that will be a very competitive game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we won't be there. We'll be down at Wabash for the Rochester Valley game on Monday night, so we're going to miss that first round. And the rest of the week, as far as the boys tournament goes, is kind of dependent on how that first game goes. If Rochester wins, we'll probably be back at Wabash on Wednesday. If Rochester does not win, then we'll probably be at Argus then for the rest of that tournament. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. So the The first round of those games, Argus, Lakeland Christian, Culver Community, and Winnemac will not be on RTC TV4. And then North Miami and Caston got the bye, so they'll be playing in the second game there on Wednesday.
Right. Winnemac beat Culver 6-1 in their regular season meeting. Caston beat North Miami and PKs in their regular season meeting 4-3.
Yeah.
So watch out for that freshman for Caston, Mac Mappin.
Mm-hmm.
He's really having a nice year. And the other really star players is the sophomore, Simon McGrew, who's really been coming in. We have not seen, according to Max Preps, Drew McGrew has only played in one game this year, and I think he's been battling an injury. But, boy, if they can get him back, that would be key. Cayman Lee is going to be key in goal for Caston as well.
Right. So that'll be on Wednesday, and then the first game on Wednesday will be the winner of Argus, LCA, and Culver and Winnemac.
I want to give a shout out to Johnny Villegas of Culver. He leads their team in goals with 5.
Okay.
And Cale Bushman, coach's son, he's got 4.
Mm-hmm.
And Jabin Hines from Winnemac, wanted to give him a shout out as well. 12 goals and 12 assists on the year.
Good.
I'm sure most of those assists to Stark.
Right. Yeah, good stuff there. So, and the championship then will be at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock on Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, at Argus.
Yeah.
So be following that.
Yeah.
one
So the
through.
semifinals on Wednesday and the final at 2 o'clock on Saturday.
All right. Then also taking place at Argus this week is going to be the girls 1A sectional, and only one first round game, quarterfinal round game, and that.
Yeah, we were caught off guard by that. It was
Yeah.
like, where's Oregon Davis? But I think Culver had a game against Twin Lakes earlier in the year, and I think they were supposed to play OD that night. And I think they had to get Twin Lakes as kind of a replacement opponent.
Yeah.
At the last instance. So I think Twin Lakes had told, I think OD had told the IHSAA that we don't have a team this year, but that wasn't publicly broadcast until the sectional draw came out.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, then it's just going to be Rochester and Argus. So it's funny you mentioned the other night. The coaches, the Rensberger for Rochester is an Argus grad, and Adley for Argus is a Rochester grad.
Yes.
I mean, that's just really neat. But
yeah, and they know each other very well, especially through the FCSA. I mean, these coaches are very well. And if you read my quotes from the Argus Culver Academy girls game from the other night, I mean, and I asked Ty about Rochester, and he is very complimentary of Chantel Rensberger and the job that she does.
Yeah, and the biggest thing with Rochester is how healthy are they going to be going into that game? If they're healthy, they're a pretty good squad, and they can put some goals up, and they've got a decent defense. But that's been kind of their struggle all year is just getting everybody 100%.
Right. It was interesting. Ty Alley kind of said when I asked him about when I told him that Rochester only had 12 players, he was kind of. Again, he was saying this, I think, more hypothetically, but he goes, sometimes you have girls with small rosters, but they wind up being the teams that are hard to play because they're really well conditioned because they're just used to running all the time and not being subbed out. That'll be one factor. Leading scorer for Rochester is Aubrey Miller with 9 goals. She's a senior. She's back playing soccer this year, and her speed down the middle of the pitch is something that teams have to be wary of. Rochester's going to try and kind of throw the long ball down the field, long through balls. Hopefully, make sure that they stay on side and hope to get Aubrey some 1v1 opportunities against Peyton Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Navarra for Rochester, that's her job, is to pass the ball upfield and get Aubrey some opportunities. Bria Rensberg has had a very nice year for Rochester, playing more of a defensive role this year and doing a really nice job. But she's been one of those players who's just been banged up. I think there's a softball injury plus a soccer injury. She's dealing with multiple leg injuries. So, but gutting it out. And then, Alexandria Cortez Gustafson is a very talented freshman who I met, when you talk to Coach Rensberger, she talks about having a defensive lineup and an offensive lineup. And when they're playing their defensive lineup, Cortez Gustafson is the goalkeeper. When they're playing their offensive lineup, Micaiah Harding will be in goal and Cortez Gustafson will be out on the field. Cortez Gustafson does everything well on a soccer field. So it's kind of, if Rochester falls behind early, they might put Cortez Gustafson out on the field and try and create some offensive opportunities.
Yeah. And then, of course, when you get into that semifinal round, that game one on Thursday is so intriguing there. You got Culver Community, first ever undefeated regular season for the Lady Cavs. Congratulations to Coach Neese. And
Still have to win at North White tonight, but yeah, I would imagine they would be favored in that game.
Yeah. Well, I was just predicting. So.
Okay.
But taking on Manchester, I think they're going to want to show up and, probably had a little bit of a sour taste in their mouth from that game with Manchester from last year.
Man, that was just such a heartbreaking loss. They were 4-1 at halftime in that game, and they wound up losing in penalty kicks. There are two teams in this section with a winning record: Culver at 14-0 and Manchester at 8-6-2. Mm-hmm. Manchester's regular season is over. We mentioned Culver playing at North White tonight. Rochester is 3-9-1, and their regular season finale is tonight at home against Twin Lakes. Argus is 4-10-1, and they're at Bethany Christian on Saturday. And LaVille is 5-9-1, and their regular season finale is tonight at home against South Bend Riley.
Mm-hmm.
And Argus has won 13 sectionals. The other 4 teams in the sectional have won 6 sectionals combined. Argus with 13, LaVille with 4, but they're the defending champion. Manchester with 2, most recently in 2021, and neither Rochester nor Culver has ever won one.
Mm-hmm.
And Rochester scored 21 goals in 12 games. Of LaVille's, here's another interesting fact: of LaVille's 28 goals this year, 21 of them have been scored by freshmen.
Yeah.
So they're very young.
Yeah.
And they will. So it'll. But they did beat Argus when they played earlier the year. They beat Rochester handily. So they have wins over both Rochester and Argus, no matter who it is they face in the semifinals. Manchester scored just 32 goals in 14 games. So you see a team with only 32 goals in 14 games, but a winning record, or 14 games they were on max prep. But you look at their winning record. I imagine if Manchester scores early, they're going to probably want to sag back.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like their strategy.
Yeah.
And not having seen them play a lot, but Manchester's a great tradition. And of Culver's 51 goals, only 10 have been scored by seniors.
Mm-hmm.
So Culver's not old. I mean, they're pretty young too. With McCune and Eliana Andrzejewski's really turned into a star this year, and Alexis Gasanovas. I mean, she's just a sophomore. As well.
And, to go along with that great offense that Culver has, they've got a great back line as well. And, so if they can get a couple goals on you, they're, hopefully going to be able to lock that down. And I don't think you're going to see a repeat of what happened last year. Yeah,
Olivia Williams is a really top-notch goalkeeper. Malia Johnson just doing a great job, as you mentioned, in the back line, along with Abigail Zahner. They don't make mistakes that cost themselves goals. Obviously, if you're undefeated, you're not making costly mistakes. And I mean, even Nohemi Ramirez Mendoza, Rojas Mendoza. She's a talented freshman who's. There's just more players that they have that can contribute to this team. It's not as good as McCune is. She's not a one-person show.
Yeah. Should be an interesting one there at Argus for the girls sectional. And, I'm looking at that second semifinal round game with LaVille having the bye. And if Argus gets past Rochester, how many times have we seen just classics between LaVille and Argus in girls soccer? I mean, it's one of those that you just throw the record out the window and they just go at it. And I'm sure if it happens again, that would be the same thing.
Yeah, LaVille beat Argus 3-2 when they played earlier in this year, and that was an absolute classic. We weren't there, but I think LaVille scored the game-winning goal with like 2 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something. Again, you look at Argus's record at 4-10-1, but we saw them play the other night, Steve. They play hard, and there's a lot of players doing some good things out on the pitch. They just need to get the results.
Yeah,
they need to get that confidence.
Well, going into that game, all 4 of their wins had come in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
So they've gotten a little bit more together over the last part of the season, and those girls, they know how to play. It's just they're young.
Yeah. And Ty Adley said that they really gained from playing a physical Culver Academy team.
Yeah.
You play a physical 2A team like Culver Academy, and that helps prepare you for a 1A sectional.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so it should be a fun week. We're going to have, like we said, we're going to be in Wabash on Monday. We will be in Argus on Tuesday, covering Rochester and Argus. So Monday will be the boys at Wabash. Will be Rochester and Valley. Tuesday we'll cover the Rochester and Argus girls. Wednesday will be kind of dependent on what happens on Monday. If the Zebras win, we'll be back at Wabash as they take on Eastern. If the Zebras lose, we will probably head up to Argus and then spend the rest of the week up there. And then, of course, Thursday, 2 games at Argus, and then championship games coming up on Saturday with the boys at 2 and the girls at 7, right?
Yes.
All right. Any other final thoughts here on upcoming soccer sectional action?
No, I think that's all I have. I think, I think that pretty much covers it. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right, short and sweet today. We will be back. Actually, we'll be back next week at some point as we'll talk some volleyball sectionals. Draw coming up this Sunday. What time are they doing that?
7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. on IHSA TV for the volleyball draw. Going to be a lot of interesting draw. You know, Rochester, boy, that's just a brutal sectional.
Yeah.
Just a brutal.
Rochester and Valley are both in brutal sectionals.
Yeah. Pioneer hosting, Culver going to South Central with Argus.
Yeah.
So Caston will be at Pioneer as well. So we'll talk more about that next week. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Talking Sports with Val. We'll see you later.